Taylor, Trainer also in on that, having pushed through Underwood. Let's just look at the leading edge winds here because, again, so strong and still showing up on the radar that way here. These are winds that are a little bit aloft, 1,300 feet above the ground, 80 to 90 throughout that area. And, you know, if you're in Oakland, I mean, this is just about on top of you, but that's the kind of wind that you're going to get, 60 to 80, gusts to 90 possibly, coming on through that entire area here. Got our newscast coming up at 10 o'clock. Got our newscast coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. Imagine we'll be able to start off with that. Look at the gust front down on this leading edge right through here. So that's where the winds were kind of strongest pushing out. Now the gust is going through Plattsmouth and Malvern, but in through here, all of Pottawatomie County still seeing these really strong winds, as Luke mentioned here, and racing out eastward into central and eastern Pottawatomie County. Now, Oakland is on the eastern side of the county. There's Carson, also a little farther to the east, and you're about to get hit by these extremely strong winds. That's our live dual pole. That's the Weather Service's radar. There are the winds on the Weather Service's radar. Very similar to what we've seen on our radar, and that camera in the inset there is 27 the Douglas, pointing off to the east there. So now just in Douglas County alone, 35,000 customers without power because of the strong winds that really impacted the north third of Omaha and then on east into Council Bluffs. Folks that were out here in Gretna and La Vista, I know you're not in Omaha proper, but part of the Omaha Metro, but Boys Town, you had some wind, but the worst winds were just to the north of there. So here's reflectivity. That's, again, what we typically show as far as the radar. There's the gust front right down through here, and that shelf cloud on the leading edge. So if you're at Oakland, Carson, Griswold, Atlantic, you look to the west, you'll see that shelf cloud coming in. It's the leading edge of the strongest winds, and then when that shelf cloud passes over, the wind picks up, but it maintains its intensity. Tree limb debris on Sorensen Parkway, and lights are also out because, again, that's up in through here where the winds were so strong, having come through there and continue to go through. One more time here, the winds look a little lighter now over Omaha, but still strong in Council Bluffs, strong out to the east. And let me give you one more storm track on this leading edge as it starts to move kind of east. So the gust front, I'm going to have to widen this out so we can see it here, is this area right through here. This is the leading edge right through there, right down here. So that gust front is moving eastward at a speed of about, let's say, 55 miles per hour. So it's going to be into Carson. It's there right now. We mentioned that, just about on top of Carson. And Oakland, a couple minutes from there. Hancock, 1007. Walnut, 1016. Elliott, 1017. Griswold, the same. Those are in Cass County of Iowa. So farther east, and Atlantic 1026. So this just racing eastward. And again, the environment just has so much energy really available for the storms to move on through. All right, I think let's reset. Do we have to do anything to begin the newscast here? Just to let folks know that you know, a tremendous thunderstorm has moved across the Omaha Metro, continues working eastward with very strong winds, but looking like they're starting to weaken a bit over Omaha proper and Council Bluffs proper, and it's this leading edge that is racing out into Pottawatomie County. Back behind, we do still have some rain, thunder that's going on here. We don't, I think, have a lot of hail that's occurred. Maybe there's a bit of hail on the backside there as this moves back on through. Perhaps some of this north area had some hail, but really it's just the leading edge of this that had such very strong winds surging across the north part of the metro, Epley Airfield, Council Bluffs, and now just about into Carson, Oakland, and then soon Avoca and Walnut. We just gave you the time on that, but still winds gusting 62 miles an hour at Omaha's Epley Airfield. Luke, any update on the winds there?
The winds at Epley Airfield now around 60 mile per hour range, so not quite the 90 or the 70 that we reported earlier. But again, because of the wake low, there's enough of a pressure gradient there that behind the storms, still getting some strong winds.
Yeah, and that's why the duration of wind lasted so long. Sometimes you get one of these, a gust front pushes on through, and that's it. But now these are still really strong winds here between Trainer, Carson, Oakland. This is, again, our radar sampling this. We're getting a little bit higher up into the thunderstorm, but 96 miles an hour at 1,600 feet above ground level there between Trainer and Carson, and just about to move in there. Let me clear that out. And then here is from the National Weather Service's radar. Same thing. We are looking at 93, 98, 86, just about now on top of Carson. We told you 10:03 Carson and Oakland, and just about there now coming into Carson and also Oakland. So just heads up for all those folks farther east into Iowa. This storm, tremendous thunderstorm with very strong straight line winds pushing on through. As we look at the thunderstorm itself, this back southwest edge continues to move into southwest Iowa as well. You see the thunderstorm complex right here. Luke, I'm going to back up, and again, this camera is at 72nd Crown Point. Right here, you've got the Emmanuel Medical Center, and it's lit up, but look at all the areas where there are no lights, and into Benson, and then into North Omaha, all of that stuff without power. 35,000, I think, Maureen, you said, that we had as far as Douglas County alone without power. Some in Washington County, likely also some over farther east into Pottawatomie County. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning still occurring, especially off to the east of us, and then into Pottawatomie County itself, the very strong winds along the leading edge. So we'll keep on monitoring the thunderstorm here. We do have our newscast coming up. Do we reset or go to a break before the newscast? Okay, we're going to go to a break real quick, reset. I'll get my map set to go, and we've got our complete 10 o'clock newscast coming up. Keep it right here on KETV Channel 7.
Oh, tonight. Oh. Oh, we have plans. Big plans. Dinner plans. Yeah, just us and our friends from overseas.
They took their most precious resource, children.
Children that the government lost track of. That's what each of those unknown graves means.
How could they lose a child?
The Lost Children of Carlisle. Only on Very Local.
It's showtime!
Yes, there are drag queens in Alabama.
I put the costume on, I put the hair on, and I just become somebody else.
Alabama is the perfect place to study drag because we have a long history. They truly have paved the way. Because we have a long history. They truly have paved the way.
Happy Pride!
It takes a lot of work and a lot of money to look this cheap.
They are the Queens of Birmingham.
Only on Very Local.
Coverage from Omaha's weather leader, KETV.
Miles an hour. We saw a gust to 90 at Omaha's Epley Airfield.
Officials predict the river will crest in Council Bluffs around 1 p.m. Thursday.
Not quite as worried with that river flooding so much right now. Our levees should be pretty good.
But because of the rising level of the river, Council Bluffs Fire Captain Mike Godbout says the sewer floodgates in the city are closed, setting the area up for possible issues.
If we get a significant rainfall, we're going to have a lot of low-level flooding.
Rainfall like the area saw on Tuesday evening. Council Bluffs saw just over 2 inches of rain.
That water's got nowhere to go.
Low-level flooding already taking over some streets in the west end of the city. And Godbout says it only takes 6 to 12 inches to stall or sweep a vehicle away. Floodwaters also capable of displacing manhole covers, creating a hidden danger.
So we don't want anybody walking in the streets because those manhole covers, you can go right down through them.
And with the highest river level still to come and more rain in the forecast,
These are short ropes.
Godbout says the department is ready to help in an emergency.
We have boats, we have John boats, we have 2 hovercraft working now. So we'll just plan for the worst and hope for the best.
That's Matty Augustine reporting. We mentioned I-680 at 30th Street has closed because of the flooding. I-29 right now still open. They're working to keep those roads open as long as possible, but make sure to check travel and road conditions on 511ia.org. In Omaha, John J. Pershing Drive between Dick Collins Drive and Ponca Road is closed because of the floods, so avoid that area.
In Harrison County, the Emergency Management Agency expects levees to hold. That's thanks to frequent monitoring from the elected levee board members and volunteers.
And KATV News Watch 7's Aaron Haggerty was in Harrison County today.
The Rand Peterson levee here is holding, but this field is underwater, and
it's a fate expected to hit other fields in Harrison County soon. Twice a day, Larry Buss and others patrol this levee. He did the same thing for the 2011 and 2019 floods.
This isn't the last. There's more coming. It's just when are they coming?
Finding weak points before they become real problems. Buss says the levee will hold.
We're all volunteers. I farm in the area. My family lives in the area. And we know what we've got to do, and we do it.
He says it's their responsibility as elected Rand Peterson Levee District trustees, using large equipment when necessary, like on Monday night.
This is where I was last night. That's where I got the dry material to put over here right there. I'll say this, when the time comes to do it, you got to do it. I finished here in the dark with my lights on because I knew this morning would be flooded, and it was.
As the river rages, farmers are prepping for the flooding, like Mason Hansen. If you're him, why not drive through the middle of the cornfield if it'll be underwater soon anyway?
This, where we're standing, will be in about 6 feet of water.
That'll make 3 times after 2011 and 2019.
We've seen it enough now. We know how this is going to unfold.
He's expecting almost all of the Rand farm he works to be underwater if current projections hold. It's the same place where the Rand Peterson Levee District is looking to find funding to build another levee.
Without this levee, Highway 30 is in jeopardy.
He expects the highway to be okay this year, but he says he'll likely be evaluating the damage to the crops soon.
We're in a tough spot. We farm here and we farm to the south. We farm down around Honey Creek and Crescent. It's all going to be lost. All of it. It's doomed.
as for the Rand Peterson levee here, Larry expects it'll hold with 4 feet to spare in Harrison County. Aaron Haggerty, KETV, Newswatch 7.
That is too close.
Such a helpless feeling.
Yeah. Well, between Omaha and Sioux City, evacuations are already underway on the Iowa side of the Missouri River.
Well, first responders have been telling some in Monona County to get out for days, and now the water is there.
KTV Newswatch 7's Bill Shammert's on the live desk with more on this. Bill?
Rob, Julie, the water is there and it is rising. Some levees have broke, forcing evacuations of Rodney and Smithland. But according to the sheriff's office, some people are being allowed to return home tonight. Here are some aerial images from the sheriff's office. You can see flooded farmland, a road, even a home. People in Monona County are extra vulnerable, with the Missouri River making up the western side and then Little Sioux anywhere from 10 to 20 miles east, cutting through the middle. We found one family who spent hours getting their farm equipment to higher ground. Now they'll have to wait and see how their land and home hold up.
This is way too much water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah.
I've never seen anything. I don't want to see anything like this.
Yep.
In Monona County that is living around the Little Sioux River or on the Missouri River should have a plan on how to get out as soon as possible.
The sheriff said about an hour ago that they don't expect any changes from the flooding forecast tonight. For people impacted and the ones who evacuated, the Ottawa Community Center is being used as a shelter. Back to you.
So much going on. Thanks, Bill. We have an update from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers today, and they have 9 surveillance teams in the Omaha district right now. They think the levees will be able to handle the river cresting. Corps of Engineers says they're constantly communicating with the levee sponsors who are responsible for the operation and maintenance of the levees.
Well, leaders at Offutt are making sure the Air Force Base is protected from the floods. The base suffered more than $1 billion in damage in 2019, and they sent us this video today as they inspect the improvements in the levees. Colonel Mark Howard says teamwork with the Corps of Engineers over the last 5 years should pay off.
A lot of work's been done by the Army Corps that we really do appreciate over the past several years. We feel like the Warhawks of the 55th Wing and Team Offutt are prepared.
Evacuation recommendations, it's all on the KETV mobile app. We will send push alerts out as we learn of more closures and flooding.
Still ahead, Bill's back with another weather update.
And we'll be right back.
It's kind of cool to think that there are people who see whatever I thought was outside the box. Maybe there is a place for them.
The best makers put their heart and soul into their work to create Jickle. Let's go say hi. Cool! If you make this, be sure to post it and tag us with My Craft Course.
So it's never too late, and just get out there and do it.
These are the incredible stories of our Maker Nation.
The incident has shaken up the inner area.
I've never seen anything that would compare to anything like this.
You really never know who the monster is standing next to you.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Love travel? So do some of our favorite celebrities.
I'm an expert traveler because I've traveled so much for work.
Welcome to In Transit, where we hunker down at an airport bar to chat everything from travel horror stories.
Maybe the most fainters we've ever had in a show was in Tel Aviv.
Travel destinations.
I like Boston. It's a really good college town.
We'll even share some ideas on how to kill time the next time you're bored at the airport.
It's time for a game. You tell me whether they are allowed on airplanes.
Oh, I'm kind of good at this. I think it's because I've seen a lot of weird people do a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
Plus, hot spots to hit in your favorite cities, so you'll have an Esquire-approved itinerary.
We source fish from all around the world.
Instead of being just a listening room, it's a hang.
It's an immersion into a musical experience unlike anything else.
So grab your luggage. Come meet me at the bar. You won't miss your flight. Come meet me at the bar. You won't miss your flight.
They took their most precious resource, their children.
Children that the government lost track of. That's what each of those unknown graves means.
How could they lose a child?
The Lost Children of Carlisle. Only on Very Local.
Craving a weekend retreat? Get ready to jet set to some of the coolest getaways across the country. We'll scream our sillies out as we zip line over a Carolina river.
It feels like you're flying.
Eat our body weight in pink frosting on the Cape.
Just shut up and have a mini.
And rest our weary bones on strangers' beds.
Ooh.
Come join us on Eat, Play, Stay. Only on Very Local.
Reports of some damage and, of course, those power outages across Douglas County because of the storm that went through tonight.
Right, they're saying about 35,000 people without power. Let's check in with Maddie Augustine, who is on the road. Maddie, where are you and what are you seeing right now? Sorry, we're not hearing Maddie's mic. We're going to have to come back to the studio.
Yeah, but you can see right now, if we look at this shot right now, driving up near Sorensen and North Omaha, Some of the lights are flashing, but you can tell by the dark, it's not supposed to be that dark there.
Power out for most of those folks there.
Yeah.
We're going to check back in with Bill now. He's coming over. Bill, still lots of lightning out there.
Yeah, I mean, this thunderstorm is not done yet. I mean, it's still surging eastward through Pottawatomie County with very strong winds, but it's sort of built back across northern Douglas, southern Washington. There's some lightning occurring there, too. So a little dangerous to be outside. Tomorrow, that's what the rain factor is for here, at least what I make it for right now for tomorrow. And our computer graphics are going to come up here, I'm sure, like that sometime.
That's a tease. That's what we call a tease.
It's a rain factor of 7 tomorrow. It's going to be
pleasant
for people
There we
working
go.
outside, as I think we're going to have a nice day on Wednesday. But tonight, we still look at this storm just racing eastward. Now it's into Griswold. We gave you 1019 for Griswold. It's already there. Atlantic 1026 already there. But look at this stuff back up here. Now we got some lightning and some heavy rain up around Bennington again and back out to Fremont. So this yet to come through Omaha. So while this thing surged through and took away some of the energy, we're not quite done. And this, unfortunately, is probably going to add to the flood crest, flood warning along the Missouri River. We got to 96 for a high, 62 degrees the low temperature, precipitation. You'd think there'd be more, but Epley Airfield just a little more than 1/3 of an inch, despite the massive hail-producing storm and then the big wind-damaging storm tonight. This is our camera at 72nd and Crown Point looking east. You see the lightning still nearly continuous over there into Iowa. 71 degrees at Epley, northeast breeze 17, dew point 60. It's cooled a lot with the thunderstorm that came through, but it's still really warm down here. And this area could still get hit by high winds later tonight from storms coming in. Dew points are still up there. We have a northeast wind. Lincoln's got a northeast wind. Columbus has got an east wind. There's live dual pole. This is the leading edge of the severe storm, eastern Pottawatomie County. But thunder and heavy rain has developed back out here to Fremont and the north part of Douglas County, and that's yet to come through Omaha. Look at this, how this is just, I mean, surging eastward at like 60, 70 miles an hour. Severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30 there. Look at the storm reports. These are all the big hail reports in here, tons of them. And then these are the wind damage reports here near Bennington, and then near Lake Cunningham, and then near North Benson and Epley Airfield and Crescent, and then farther east into Iowa. What a complex of storms. And now trying to develop westward here into this stuff here out toward Columbus. So this will again push southeastward, and then a big complex of thunderstorms here in north central Nebraska. That's going to come southeastward too, possibly impacting the Lincoln area with high winds. So first wave goes through, maybe some more overnight. Tomorrow, well, it looks good. It looks really good tomorrow. Sunny, pretty light winds. Thursday, we got clouds in here. It's going to be a cooler day and some showers and thunderstorms come in. I just want to show this overnight. So there's 12:30. The current storms we have will be gone, but watch this line in here. And if you're in Lincoln, we could see wind damage from this. Lincoln, Beatrice, parts of southeast Nebraska that weren't hit by our thunderstorm tonight. And then that's finally out of here by tomorrow morning. All right, tonight's low temperature 63. We were 62 an hour ago. Severe storms, not quite done with them yet. A pleasant day tomorrow and really quite nice in the afternoon. High of 87 degrees. Clouds keep temperatures down on Thursday. A chance of showers. Some thunder coming in Thursday evening, Thursday night and Friday. But out in time for the weekend. This weekend, it looks delightful. They should have held the College World Series championship final to this weekend where Saturday and Sunday look pleasant.
But today would have been awful.
That's true.
Can we just say make it stop?
Oh,
just make it stop.
What a severe weather season.
No kidding. Lauren's here now, sports.
Well, a new College World Series champion was crowned last night, but the sports world is not talking about Tennessee today. A big change in leadership for the national runner-ups. More on some post-CWS storylines next.
So personal injury is all we do, and we've been doing it for 40 years. And there isn't much that we haven't seen. That's a benefit we're helping because we have the expertise and the understanding of the process to help them through.
Breaking a Lamborghini dealership is a crime scene right now.
Police say the thieves just took off.
These crimes could pop up anytime.
Driver loses control.
Can see here the destructive path.
Obviously, it's a very unsettling situation for that neighborhood.
When I think of citizen versus con, I worry.
Some criminals aren't the brightest.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
As for a motive, we still don't know.
Crimes, Cons, and Capers, a new season. Only on Very Local.
It's kind of cool to think that there are people who see, well, maybe whatever I thought was outside the box, maybe there is a place for that.
The best makers put their heart and soul into their work. The best makers put their heart and soul into their work.
To create something magical. Let's go say hi.
Cool! Make this, be sure to post it and tag us with My Craft Course.
So it's never too late to just get out there and do it.
Are the incredible stories of our Maker Nation.
I'm Frank Nicotero, and this is a game show. I ask people questions inspired by the wildest and wackiest news stories for a chance at a cash prize. Money! Wait, what happened? Only on Very Local.
Sheriff's Office, how may I help you?
I'm calling to find out if I can have a wellness check.
A shot out of the dark. People were scared.
Things like that don't happen here.
Every turn of the story was always in the headlines.
Up to 100 volunteers turned out search effort.
It's every parent's nightmare.
The incident has shaken up the entire area.
I want my granddaughter home.
Never seen anything that would compare to anything like this.
How was this even able to happen? How did they let this happen?
Well, what kind of justice is that?
And that was just the beginning of the story.
I don't know how we're gonna get through this.
I thought for sure I was dead. I just didn't know when.
You really never know who the monster is standing next to.
Well, after 73 years, Tennessee baseball finally brought a national championship back home to Knoxville. The Vols topped Texas A&M 6-5 to win their first Men's College World Series title. Their 60 wins this season are the most for a national champion in 35 years, and the most ever for an SEC team. Tennessee won both the SEC season and tournament titles, and now they're the 5th straight SEC team to win it all in Omaha, becoming the first one seed since Miami in 1999 to win it. When the Vols weren't blasting baseballs over the wall the past 10 days, they had 11 Omaha home runs. They were running into the wall to catch them, doing whatever it took to win.
The only thing we heard this whole postseason was that it couldn't be done. You know, the number one seed never wins it all. You know, we just wanted to prove them wrong every single day. But then again, while trying to prove them wrong, not trying to get outside of ourselves and just saying who we are, staying true to ourselves.
You know, I've dreamed of this since I was a little kid. Just to be able to play in this stadium in front of all these people, it's something that you know a lot of people don't get to do, and I've got to do it 3 times. So, no, it's just awesome. I've loved every minute of it, being here and being with this group of guys. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, we spent countless hours together, so to be able to, you know, win the thing for them is awesome.
And some big news out of Texas A&M tonight. Less than 24 hours after the Aggies lost to Tennessee in the CWS Finals, head coach Jim Schlossnagle leaves to become the head baseball coach at rival Texas. Comes as a shock to some, considering when Schlossnagle was asked about the vacant position Monday night, he said, quote, "I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind." Interesting. Well, a handful of Huskers representing USA on national teams this summer. Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley on the U21 team. Jackson, the middle blocker, turned heads in her debut, added 8 kills on 10 swings with 4 blocks, getting it done on both sides of the net as the U.S. swept the Dominican Republic. Fellow Husker Riley running the offense as the setter, though that connection looks pretty strong ahead of the season. A lot to be excited about ahead of the fall, you guys.
Schlossnagel. That is just
wild.
It is wild. It's a good way to put it.
Trev Alberts has his first hire ahead of him.
Interesting. Thanks, Lauren.
We'll be right back.
Nobody loves where they came from more than me, and I'm back for a new season. This is my backyard, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Boston Rob does Beantown and beyond, only on Very Local.
Beautiful. Cheers, Dave.
Oh, I like that.
Love travel? So do some of our favorite celebrities.
I do find it like exciting to be in the taxi and be like, oh my God, am I gonna miss this flight?
Welcome to In Transit, where we hunker down at an airport bar to chat everything from travel horror stories.
I hate this airline. This is the worst.
I'd be that random person just crying.
Wow. To top travel destinations.
I love Milwaukee. It's gorgeous.
We'll even share some ideas on how to kill time the next time you're bored at the airport.
Let's play a little game. I love games.
Very excited.
I'm gonna ask you a probing, personal questions.
Okay.
These are the strangest contraptions.
Oh my God, my eyeballs.
Plus, hot spots to hit in your favorite cities, so you'll have an Esquire-approved itinerary.
To really enjoy the quality time with the people that are important to you.
So grab your luggage and come meet me at the bar. You won't miss your flight. Come meet me at the bar. You won't miss your flight.
In Transit, only on Very Local.
Welcome to In Transit, where we chat everything from travel horror stories.
Maybe the most dangers we've ever had in a show was in Tel Aviv.
To top travel destinations.
Instead of being just a listening room, it's a hang.
So grab your luggage. Come meet me at the bar.
They took their most precious resource, their children.
Children that the government lost track of. That's what each of those unknown graves means.
How could they lose a child?
The Lost Children of Carlisle. Only on Very Local.
Reports of damage and, of course, the power outages across Douglas County tonight. Right now, OPPD, by the way, reports nearly 37,000 people without power, mostly in, we saw, north central Omaha.
We want to check now some hail photos and videos that you've sent in to us. Thanks to our viewers for helping tell this weather story. Here are a couple of photos you sent in. This is from Dean Virgil, 72nd and Harrison. Hail about the size of a palm there. Shauna Benson Dunn sent this photo in from Council Bluffs. You can see the hail looks even bigger there.
We have a picture that was taken in Papillion. Those, they're about the size of baseballs. And we have an image from 72nd and Drexel. Again, very large hail. Remember, you can send your photos to us, email them. The address is news@ketv.com, or you can use Facebook Messenger.
We're looking for lots of damage reports tomorrow.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
right.
Overnight tonight, it's so hard now. It's dark out, power's out, but there are a lot of spots that have had tree damage tonight in that north part of Omaha and then over into Pottawatomie County. We still have some thunderstorms around. New storm has started to form across the northern part of Douglas County. Not severe, but could have some small hail, has some rain, some cloud to ground lightning. There's the big wind damage storm that came through Omaha, came through Oakland, and now into Cass and also Montgomery counties of Iowa. But there are some new severe storms out in Platte County. Those pose a threat, especially to the west and south of Omaha, for some large hail and strong winds overnight. But tomorrow looks like a great day. Mostly sunny and 87 degrees for Wednesday.
So now, will you and Luke be sticking around for a while?
For sure. We'll monitor things here, and in areas southwest of here that haven't had the storms yet so far tonight, we could still see some very strong winds too.
Okay. First news starts at 4:30 with overnight updates.
Yeah, we're going to join Jimmy Kimmel Live, already in progress. See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you for watching KETV News Watch 7.
Get caught up on local news, originals, and more. Download the Very Local app now and stream for free today. This is a severe weather alert from KETV's Weather Now Storm Team.
Folks, Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby here, Meteorologist Luke Vickery. We're not done yet. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning for these storms that have popped up over Omaha here, and also the one out by Fremont. The Weather Service, they had one of their employees head up toward Washington, just a couple miles southeast of Washington, report half-dollar sized hail. That's 1 1/4 inch in diameter. And that storm is moving down toward Omaha. You see, this is the big bow echo that moved across Omaha with the 90, 95, 100 mile per hour winds. I do have to also note that Epley Airfield is shut down right now as they're cleaning up damage from the winds. The winds were over 70 miles an hour for almost 20 minutes there and gusted a couple of times to 90 miles an hour. And there's tree damage. There's a whole bunch of stuff to clean up. So that's Epley Airfield, but we've got this severe thunderstorm warning. So this is the storm that came through to produce the damage at Epley. Now a new severe thunderstorm warning. Luke, you're telling me this one goes till 11:30, is that right?
Yeah, so they just put 2 severe thunderstorm warnings out. Both of them go for 11 till 11:30, and they both have radar indicated half-dollar sized hail.
Right, but we did have a Weather Service employee report hail to 1 1/4 inches in diameter. And then there are still these storms out in Platte County here that have severe thunderstorm warnings on them. You can see they're kind of starting to turn a little more to the southeast, and these look like a real threat to areas west and south of Omaha. So still have these warnings to deal with. Let's close into the metro here. And again, this is the storm that produced large hail near Washington. Now, Washington is kind of right up by the Washington County line. I'm going to stop this and put it on the newest picture here that we have here. And this is our live dual pole radar right here. So this is based at 72nd and Crown Point, and right in here now, there's Washington. This part of the storm may have some hail in it, and also down toward the valley area here, there could be some hail. So here's the warning. This covers west Douglas County, central Douglas County, up to the Washington County line, down to Boys Town, and down to about I-80 and the Exarban area. That's one of the storms. The other one is this one up here around Fremont. And the thought is that, you know, this one is doing it. This could do the same thing. So they put another warning on here from Fremont to Arlington, just about to Elk City and west of Washington. That's the path that maybe this will take. Let me show you the animation here over the last 30 minutes. I'll loosen up a little bit so you can see and get a sense for the direction of these things. Again, so these things are coming eastward and also southeastward. So it's not a lot of this area that's going to see large hail, not like the earlier storm that just pummeled downtown and Council Bluffs and then southward from there. This is some spotty hail in here, drifting east-southeastward over Omaha, and then this cell behind it, you know, maybe has some hail. It's harder because it's back behind that first cell, but those two moving east-southeastward. I do want to, let's see, look at this here. Luke, if you could back up on my, just hit backwards on the max. I think we'll get back into a sky cam. Okay. This is a view from 27th of Douglas looking east. I want to pan that camera around to the north here now, see if we can see some of the lightning that is occurring here. A little bit. Keep going, and so we'll look to the north. And keep going one more, and then you'll see the North Freeway show up right through here. So this is north, so we're kind of underneath this here, and we are getting some cloud to ground lightning with that. Now let's go to the camera out at the Methodist Women's Hospital. And from there, you're here looking back toward the east, I believe. So let's pan the camera back around either direction. Very good. So this is looking off to the north now from this Methodist Women's Hospital, and go one more here. So that's where the storm is maybe strongest, kind of in the vicinity of Bennington. And there is a fair amount of cloud to ground lightning occurring here. But the hail is going to be a little spottier with this than we saw earlier on for tonight, where there were just large swaths that got clobbered by the hail. Still, this is sort of over North Omaha. You know, you see the towers down there, so that's 72nd and Crown Point, and then this is back up in the direction of sort of Bennington here up toward 156th and State Street. So that thunderstorm, a lot of lightning and potentially some hail with it. And it kind of looks like right about over Fremont now. Luke, if we move forward, I'm going to get the clicker here so that I can advance those slides here too. Thank you. There we go. Show you the thunderstorm. So right over Fremont, there is a signature of hail. And then this sort of right over Valley to Waterloo. Anything, Luke, on NWS chat? The storm went right over the Weather Service office. I don't know if they had anything, any report there.
So they went from the $half sized hail to quarter-sized hail, and then briefly after that, they were back up to that $half sized hail, and that was at about 10:47. So that was just 1 minute ago.
We got a new warning here that covers downtown too for the edge, just because, you know, if you see a storm that produces $half-size hail and then this storm looks the same on the radar, you go for the same thing. But that's coming right over Epley Airfield. And I'm telling you, Epley clobbered tonight by the wind. I mean, it was brutal. And it's closed right now. They're cleaning up damage out there. I'm sure that, you know, that Carter Lake area and Epley Airfield, and then Council Bluffs, North Council Bluffs, East Council Bluffs. I mean, really, really strong winds. And we're going to have lots of cleanup. I mean, tree limbs down, trees down, power lines down. We were saying 36,000 in Douglas County without power from that previous storm. Well, these are a little more elevated thunderstorms here, but they still potentially can produce some hail. And so now you got the new warnings here for Fremont, for Valley, for Bennington, Boys Town, and then right into the middle of Omaha here as well. But not everybody in there is going to get this hail to quarter-sized or $half size, but some people will. Here's our live dual pole sweeping. And you can see the thunderstorm, you know, kind of from Council Bluffs, Epley back out to Fremont, moving eastward. The whole area is still under a severe thunderstorm watch. That goes until midnight. See the storm here, and then a little closer look. So right over Valley, Waterloo, looks like it's intensified a little bit. And this area, you know, kind of northwest, so coming in toward around the Players Club, sort of State Street and Blair High Road in that area, and then crossing 72nd and Crown, and then back toward downtown Omaha here. Here's the hail mode of the radar. Luke, maybe you can center this one up for me. We'll get one of these on Omaha here. And, you know, these aren't huge signatures like we had before, but the best of this right now, kind of right over Valley, and then right about over that area around Irvington. So near 680 and Blair High Road to about 72nd and Crown. Those are the best hail signatures we have here right now. Did you Control S that one for me?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to advance. I want you to move this one back out toward the area around Humphrey, farther west out there. So these are the next pretty big cells that we have. Earlier had a report of some golf ball sized hail in Humphrey. That is down here, that same storm come down here to just east of Platte Center. So that's north of Columbus. Looks like it's going to pass maybe between Columbus and Schuyler here, so that's good. And that will kind of keep on coming east, southeastward here. So go ahead and Control S that one too for me. And then here's velocity. So let's pan this back over Omaha proper. So right in here, we got a, you know, kind of an odd signature. We got a little bit of tore it away, so probably some hail, a little bit of downburst winds there. But I want you to pan this all the way over into Iowa, and let's see how far we can go. It's still, look at that. These are still those winds, probably between Griswold, Elliott, Grant, Messina. These are those winds that are likely 60 to 80 miles per hour, maybe some gusts possibly up to 90. This is northern Adams County, northern Montgomery County, southern Cass County. That is just brutal. That's what came through Omaha. That's what came through Omaha's Epley Airfield, and you know, it was extending there. All right, so you saved that view for us. And let's go back out farther to the west now, out to the cells out in Platte County. And you see these, nothing particularly organized out here where it looks like we've got any super strong winds or anything to worry about, but go ahead and save that view as well here. Okay, so as you look at these, lined up here, this cell looks like it's weakening again over Fremont, maintaining here Valley, Waterloo, and then into Omaha. So the hail potential right through there. And then this cell does look pretty big here coming down from Humphrey. And see how it's more of a right turner? See, these ones are going more east or east-southeast. And then this one is, instead of moving like all the rest of them, it's going this way. That tells us this is a stronger storm. Maybe it's got a mesocyclone in it. Maybe it's got enough rotation up in it that it has the large hail. And we still are watching these things for strong winds. So maybe this one has to be watched going between Columbus and Schuyler. Severe thunderstorm warning on that into Colfax County here. So that one has to be watched. And bigger perspective here now. So there's the storm that came across Omaha. And it didn't look like that much when it was out here in Dodge County and Saunders County right there. But man, it just raced through Omaha and now is going to be part of a huge complex that's organizing south of Des Moines there. We're watching these cells out around Columbus because they still are going to come east-southeastward, and while the atmosphere is not going to be perfect over Omaha, they may continue with some of the thunderstorm activity. And then farther out, way up here, you see that line? That is going to drop southeastward, and that really has wind damage potential in a couple of hours as you get down toward York. And we were saying our computer models are showing around 132 in Lincoln. That's going to be this stuff out here. So still quite a bit to watch. Pardon me. All right, Luke, so this is our camera again at the Methodist Women's Hospital. Maybe you can pan that around back out to the west because that looks like the strongest part of that cell is sort of around the valley area. So I'd keep going back that way. Another one and one more still, and then one more still. All right, so you're looking out in the direction of Elkhorn and then Valley, and a lot of cloud to ground lightning out here. How about pan one more time here? This is the concrete plant, and then Youngman Lake is out here, and you see that is just crazy. That storm is still coming over the Omaha Metro. Let's go to 72nd and Crown Point. Can you pull up that camera for us out at Crown Point? Wow. All right, so this is looking east, and this is that Sorensen connector. It looks like maybe power out in through here, and then this is across the river. Can we take that camera a little more to the northeast here and then keep going? Great. Okay, so here's the tower. So I know there are homes in here, but there are no lights on. So I know this is an area that lost a lot of power. Earlier, we didn't see any of this here. This was all lit up. That's Emmanuel Medical Center and the area around that. So power back on maybe here, but still likely out in some of this Benson area and then up into that area kind of from around Cunningham, north of 680, along 680, and then eastward from there. So that is just rough. All right, so back in here, this is the radar showing the storms. This cell weakened over Fremont, so they dropped the warning there. These are maintaining over Omaha, and they still have at least the signature of hail. I'm going to stop that. This is that Ville density. So maybe some hail in through Omaha here. Again, this is kind of a lagging indicator. It looks like that cell weakened a bit. Here's the velocity mode of the radar. Here's Omaha's radar. Here is our live dual pole. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it looks like right around 72nd and Crown here and just south of there. Maybe there's a bit of hail in this area right here. I'm going to put this on differential reflectivity. And you see how the radar beam can't see through here. All of this stuff may have some hail in it here. Not all of it huge, but this area, kind of around Benson and then over toward just near North Omaha. I'm sure there's some hail in this line of thunderstorms that's coming through. That's what this is showing here. And then this is the velocity mode of our radar. Let me take the lightning strike off of there. So in here, this is coming toward, and then this stuff is going away down here. So hard to make a lot of sense out of that, but as I back up and look forward here, there you go. You can see how the cell came in from the northwest and is now pushing through. So there is not a huge amount of wind. None of these winds are very strong compared to what we had earlier on. And the same thing showing up by the Weather Service's radar here. We don't have any super strong winds with any of this stuff. But I did want to look at that cell out here in Columbus, between there and Schuyler. So that is where it's at right here, dropping southeastward, so just north of Columbus. Schuyler is in the warning, but the core of this thing had looking like it's going more to the east-southeast, so hopefully that will continue to be the case. Here you see the cell right through here, dropping south, southeastward, and potentially has some hail with that one as well. So a couple of things we're watching here, but for the Omaha Metro, we still have the warning that goes till 11:30. Is that right, Luke? Yep. And then this Council Bluffs one also until 11:30. So sometimes these storms will pop up and then sort of weaken, and I would expect that'll probably be the case as you see the Fremont storm fell apart. These things right now maintaining as they're coming in toward downtown, that area 72nd and Crown. Here's our live radar. Sort of looks like if there's hail occurring, it's probably right in here right now. So here's the radar. This is Dundee, right in through here. And this is Benson, right in through here. And that looks like where there may be some hail. Now, earlier, it looked like $0.25 to $half, so possibly that again. There's Maple and 65th Street, so kind of the heart of Benson right here. And then the heart of Dundee is just north of Dodge. There's Memorial Park. Heart of Dundee is kind of right in through here. Maybe gets into some of that as well as the storm moves to the east-southeastward. We do have, again, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings for the Metro going until 11:30. And again, the lightning, pretty impressive right over Omaha right now, as we do have the thunderstorm near here. Luke, this is our camera at 72nd and Crown. I want you to zoom all the way around, so go ahead and pan, keep going that way, keep going. Great. And then, perfect, so I'd go back one. So this is 72nd Street right there. And if you go one more pan to the left here, this is kind of that area where, so Benson Golf Course, this is where Benson is at proper right here, just to the east of the golf course there. And, you know, looks like maybe a little heavier rain or possibly some small hail coming down in that spot there. Not sure. Any reports at all, Luke, coming in with that stuff?
No, we haven't. No hail reports, no wind reports as of right now.
Okay. Well, that is good. Let me get back here. You can see how that back edge is kind of clearing out again from that, so that would be all right. Here's the storm out north of Columbus. A little bit of toward in a way, so it's an organized thunderstorm here. Could you pan over into Iowa on this one? This is our radar view looking at those super strong winds exiting our viewing area, but now Corning getting in on some of that Grant and also that into Adair County. This is Cass County of Iowa. And if you save that view for us, we can go back to that one as well. So here's the hail. That's a good thing. We always like to see this. Looks like maybe losing a little bit of its organization here out in Platte County, north of Columbus. Might be cycling, but all these things look a little bit weaker than they did and tending to drop southeastward. Here's the Omaha Metro with the hail there. We were talking about the Benson area. Sort of looks like it here. Here's Valley, maybe a little bit of hail. And again, most areas in here probably going to be small, but you might get a few spots that get quarter sized hail for a few of these things. But, you know, that's sort of dropping southeastward here. This is nowhere near the intensity of what our radar was showing earlier this evening when this area just got pummeled by hail. South Council Bluffs, South Omaha, the zoo, down into Spring Lake Park area, and then down toward Bellevue and Old Town Bellevue and the base. I mean, we had softball-sized hail. We had 4-inch diameter hail, and then we had lots of golf ball-sized hail and baseball-sized hail. Then more. Still maintaining this thunderstorm here between Valley and Boys Town, and then also this area right around Benson and Dundee with potentially some hail. You see how the cell around Fremont weakened. And then as you look at the bigger perspective, that's our live view, and they're again back on dual pole here. If you look at that, this probably toward downtown. So there's a live look with 72nd and Crown Point, a lot of cloud to ground lightning occurring over the city here. And right around 72nd and Crown Point. Farther out to the west, that looks like maybe a bit of hail downtown. So here's our live view. Here's our look out to the west, right over Elkhorn. So this is 204th Street right there. This is Maple right here. This is the water tower right there. Let's save that view here. And then farther to the east here. Severe thunderstorm warning till 11:30. Still looks like this area around Benson, very heavy rain, maybe Lake. Again, we want to mention Epley Airfield hit very hard by strong winds, and the last report we had was that it was closed and they were cleaning things up because of the 90-mile-per-hour wind gust that moved through Epley Airfield. And I'm sure there's a ton of tree limbs down and power outages to work on from Washington and Bennington, Newport Landing, down toward Lake Cunningham Ridge, Lake Cunningham itself, 680, Florence, Ponca Hills, Carter Lake, the Epley area, North Council Bluffs, East Council Bluffs, Crescent, and then it just went right through the middle of Pottawatomie County with the super strong winds a little earlier on this evening. Live dual pole. See the thunderstorm weakening a little bit here from Fremont. Looks like they kind of trimmed the back edge now. It's just east of water holding together in that area. Maple to Fort, the interstate to 120th, 132nd. Doesn't look huge. And then some hail maybe in this into downtown. Remember earlier on this evening, we had giant hail just sitting in this area. This is not that big. Here, Platte County into Colfax County with the hail size. The wind's still super strong out to the east of us there. And this cell still there, but maybe less organized from a rotational standpoint, northeast of Columbus there. Obviously a concern, and within this area, you mentioned 81st and Blondo, right, for the hail to, what size was that?
That was to half-inch size hail.
Half-inch size hail. So this is Blondo Street right here, and I believe 81st Street would be right here. So this is where it's at now, and probably it was right here when we had the hail report where that purple area is here. So again, if I back this up here, I got to be on their reflectivity here to show that. So you'll see it come across here. So this is probably right there. That was your hail, and a little bit in here. So not huge hail, but again, coming which is right about here, because this is Memorial Park there. You see the little curly Q there, Underwood Street right here, and sort of 50th and Underwood is roughly downtown Dundee, and downtown Benson is roughly 62nd and here, whole thing kind of coming off to the southeast. Here's the velocity, and we don't see a whole lot there, maybe a bit more in this area. Let's see what that looks like. Ooh, nice rumble of thunder we just heard here, Luke.
Yeah.
There you go. See how this is starting to edge out, and the red that's showing up is showing stronger winds. And that wind that is showing is outbound at 49 miles per hour, so perhaps 50 to get caught behind here. It looks like maybe it starts accelerating. Maybe it will really pick up speed. And so our radar is showing the same area right through here where the winds are starting to push out. Our radar is showing winds to 41 miles an hour, 31, 40 also. So some wind, but really the in time here. Let's look at 30 minutes of the radar here with the storm over the metro, and you see it start to get going here. And so, you know, it's almost like gravity takes over, and the momentum of the rain-cooled air starts accelerating, and boy, that really, Ottawa County, and this might start to do the same thing, might start to accelerate out to the east-southeast here. 1-2 out around Boys Town, so this whole thing looking like it's going to start to push out down toward Bellevue and Glenwood, all those areas probably going to be in the path here. Let's look upstream here. Let's see what we got. So here's the cluster out here around Columbus. Again, this warning goes till 11:30. This looks like this is where you can see a little cell popping up near Wahoo. So the tendency is for kind of all this stuff to fill into one. We don't know if it'll fill in completely, but you see that around Wahoo and the cluster over Omaha, and then start to drop southeastward and really increase its forward going to eventually come in your general direction here. And,
yeah, Bill, we were talking earlier how the Omaha Metro now getting hit by 2 storms tonight. And really the only area that hasn't got hit by big storms yet is the southwestern portion of our viewing area, being near Lancaster County and Gage County and the areas down to our southwest, which, you know, you just mentioned how those storms up to the northwestern portion of our viewing area, if they're going to favor an environment, it'd probably be, you know, further south where we haven't got as much action so far tonight.
Right. I mean, you think about the energy in the atmosphere, and if you haven't had a storm come through yet, then this is probably the area that has the most potential for thunderstorms to strengthen, intensify. And that's kind of what we're waiting for, up to these, and all this stuff kind of merge as it's coming. This warning goes until midnight, I believe, the new one that is down here into Mills County.